Well, former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe is speaking out after he was fired Friday night. McCabe says that the firing is part of the Trump administration's attack on his credibility and its war on the FBI. His dismissal comes less than 2 days before McCabe was set to retire with a full pension. CBS News correspondent Errol Barnett joins us now from the White House to break down all the latest from Washington. Okay, Errol, so following McCabe's dismissal, we know the president's own personal lawyer made a statement pushing back. And then that, in response, got some Democratic senators pushing back, saying we've got to come forward and defend the special counsel. What do you know?
Rena, it's been an incredible 24 hours here in Washington. This morning, President Trump's criminal defense attorney, his personal lawyer, spoke to one news outlet. I'm speaking about John Dowd, and he essentially said that he wants special counsel Mueller's investigation to be shut down. And he made it appear to that journalist that he was speaking on behalf of the president. But when Mr. Dowd spoke to CBS News this morning in sending a statement, we have a portion of it on your screen, he essentially said the same thing, but clarified that he's speaking in a personal capacity. He is not speaking for President Trump. And I'll just read a portion of what was on your screen there. He says that he prays Acting Attorney General Rod Rosenstein bring an end to alleged Russia collusion investigation manufactured, he says, by McCabe's boss, James Comey. A stunning statement for the president's lawyer to make, whether it is his own personal statement or he's speaking on behalf of the president. And evidence of that is a response from Democratic Senator Mark Warner when he tweeted, quote, "Every member of Congress, Republican and Democrat, needs to speak up in defense of the special counsel right now." It gives you a sense of the mood here in Washington while all of this is taking place.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like battleground lines have been drawn there. So this is happening, Errol, amid McCabe's firing. How do you think this is ultimately going to affect special counsel Robert Mueller's probe?
Well, as you look at the statements both released by McCabe, a lengthy, scathing statement responding to his dismissal, and President Trump's tweet, it seems to really up the ante. He says that his dismissal is part of a war on the FBI being led by President Trump, aimed at discrediting the agency and tainting it, in his words. And he says for him to have his career ended in this fashion is disappointing and unfair. He summed up his reasoning with this phrase in his statement, quote, "I'm being singled out and treated this way because of the role I played, the actions I took, and the events I witnessed in the aftermath of the firing of James Comey." And what he is saying is that he's essentially the last remaining leader of the FBI who was present at the beginning of the Trump administration when the former FBI director James Comey said he was made to feel uncomfortable by President Trump in a number of private meetings where the president allegedly asked for Comey's loyalty. During a House Intelligence Committee during his testimony, McCabe essentially said, "I can back up James Comey's allegation on that front." And in his scathing statement, he says, "After I said that publicly, this internal audit within inside the FBI sped up." And he says politics are really behind his dismissal. There's one other response I just want to read to you that came out this morning from former CIA Director John Brennan responding to Trump's tweet saying all of this is a good day for the FBI. Brennan saying in part, quote, "When the full extent of your venality, moral turpitude, and political corruption becomes known, you will take your rightful place as a disgraced demagogue in the dustbin of history." That, from the former CIA director to the sitting president of the United States, it's just astounding.
Geez, you've never heard of someone like that say that to a sitting administration. Fascinating to hear him say that. Well, there are also rumors that keep percolating about H.R. McMaster. What do we know? Is he on his way out? Anything more on his possible departure?
Well, CBS News has been told that H.R. McMaster is expected to be dismissed soon. One reason that we've heard about this for so long, but it hasn't happened yet, we're told, is because there are arrangements being made in where perhaps he can go next, perhaps a post inside the military that would afford him a fourth star. But when reporters caught up with him outside the White House yesterday, he said that he was just doing his job, and he kind of brushed it off. But he also did say that everybody has to go at some point. It gives you a sense of the revolving door here at the White House that continues to spin.
And what about Chief of Staff John Kelly, Errol?
He also is on thin ice ever since the Rob Porter domestic abuse and security clearance scandals. He, of course, has been on thin ice with the president. And what we're hearing is that the Office of Management and Budget Director Mick Mulvaney is a favorite of President Trump to possibly replace him. But he's a busy guy because he's also the acting director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. One source is telling CBS News that former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski could also be a favorite to replace Kelly. They note that President Trump may meet with Lewandowski at the beginning of next week when the two are in New Hampshire.
All right, Errol Barnett from the White House. Thank you, Errol.
You got it.